All right. I really enjoy these openings because I think when you're in a room full of people you've never met, any way that we can foster connection to each other, to each other's beliefs, and our realities is really something to be grateful for. I really appreciate Clay. I had to scratch out Elder Clay because I want to be his friend, so I didn't want to put that in front of the name. But we really appreciate you and supporting our events every time. What I heard in those sentiments and what I really want us to remember here as we go along is this is a solvable issue. This is something that can be fixed. So I really hope as we go through the halls, and it's hard not to feel jaded when we're in this space and we see these young people every day and what they're going through. Some of us have been through it as well. Just remember that this can be fixed as long as we're all here for them. So the next person I would like to invite to the stage is Amy Bilodeau on behalf of the Home Depot Canada Foundation. Amy's the Senior Manager of Community Investment at the Foundation and has really been a champion for supporting youth homelessness prevention. So let's welcome Amy to the stage.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Marty, for the introduction. Really excited to be here with all of you today. So I'm with the Home Depot Canada Foundation, and if you don't know us in our work, we are committed to preventing and ending youth homelessness in Canada. And we have a pledge of $125 million to do this by 2030. I'm very proud to say we've already achieved 82 million of this pledge, so that happened this year for us, which is very exciting. And we really do this work through, working together with many of you in the room. We invest about $11 million a year, and that's funds that are raised through both company donations, through all of our customers. If you have a relationship with your local Home Depot store, which I hope many of our nonprofit partners do, you know that it's really store managers that are champions in their stores that are really working, I think, to serve as many organizations as we can. And we do look at investing in youth from many different angles, but definitely looking at expanding stable housing for youth is a priority. We look at investing in quality wraparound supports, and then we also do a lot of work in youth employment spaces. I think what's really amazing for us to be in this room is it feels like we're in a room full of confidants and friends who really believe and understand that prevention is the solution, and that prevention truly is, I think, the most important thing we can focus on when it comes to ending youth homelessness. So I'd say we are all in on this work, and I have a few colleagues that are in the room today, and we're just really looking forward to learning from all of you and being part of the next 3 days. So thank you for having us and the opportunity to be here with all of you today. And I also have the pleasure of introducing the Honorable Marci Ien, who is the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth here at Toronto Centre. And the Honorable Marci Ien has served as a Member of Parliament for Toronto Centre since October 2020. Minister Ien is a devoted community leader and a passionate advocate for vulnerable communities in Canada and around the world. Prior to being elected to the House of Commons, she had an award-winning career in journalism and television that spanned 3 decades. She's traveled internationally with Journalists for Human Rights and World Vision. Minister Ien has worked as a mentor with underprivileged youth with Trust 15, an after-school program based in Etobicoke area of Toronto and in La Roche, Saskatchewan, following the shooting at Deneen High School in 2016. She's also supported students from communities by co-founding a new scholarship at the RTA School of Media at Ryerson University. A graduate of Ryerson, she later returned to the university as a distinguished visiting professor and served on its board of governors. In October 2020, just a day after being elected to Parliament, Minister Ien released her first book, Off Script, Living Out Loud, in which she shares personal milestone tales of resilience and kindness, dramatic moments of her career as a journalist, and insights of the many unforgettable people she has met and interviewed. Minister Ien was born and raised in Toronto, where she lives with her children. And welcome, Minister Ien.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. It's good to see. Look at this crowd. Oh my gosh. Amy, thank you so much for the kind remarks and introduction. Clay, and I'm saying Clay, because I think we'd be fast friends. Yeah, I do. And Michael, thank you so much. You've got a gorgeous voice. Thank you so much for grounding us and starting us off in the right way. Melanie, Stephen, Katie Davies-Jurgensen, Marty, Amy again, just thank you. The incredible work that you do doesn't just shape policies, it changes lives. That's the truth. It's because of your dedication, it's because of your advocacy, it's because of your persistence that we're all here today. And the truth of the matter is that we need to be here today because we've got a crisis on our hands. More than 40% of young people experiencing homelessness had their first experience before they turned 16. 16. Just let that sink in. Some of you know that. Some of you have lived that. These are kids who should be worrying about school or friends, maybe a first job, not where they're going to sleep at night. And we know that the risks aren't equal by any measure. Queer youth are up to 4 times more likely to experience homelessness. Nearly 30% of youth in shelters identify as members of racialized communities. When we talk about youth homelessness, we're talking about young people falling through the cracks of a system that really wasn't built for them in the first place. Il s'agit d'un cycle qui commence bien avant que la personne ne se retrouve dans la rue. Here's what that cycle looks like. A young person grows up in an unstable home. Maybe there's poverty, maybe there's violence, maybe they're part of the child welfare system, and when they turn 18, suddenly, just like that, they're on their own. Maybe they get a minimum wage job, but the cost of rent eats up half their paycheck or more. Maybe they've missed a shift, one emergency, one unexpected bill away from having nowhere to go, and then what? They're in crisis. And we all know that by the time someone is in crisis, the window for prevention has closed. That's why we need to stop treating homelessness like an emergency to respond to and start treating it like a failure to prevent. So let's look at that. What does prevention look like? Well, it means jobs. It means housing. It means real supports built for young people with young people. And it means being honest about what's working, but also being very, very honest about what's not. That's why our government is investing in youth employment programs, stuff like Canada Summer Jobs and the Youth Employment and Skills Strategy, which helped more than 100,000 young people get their foot in the door with experience last year. We're also dedicating to more funding for youth-specific housing because a 19-year-old leaving care shouldn't be put into the same system as a 50-year-old who's chronically homeless. And we're funding programs such as Canada Service Corps, which since 2018 has given more than 52,000 young people the chance to step up, to lead, and be part of the change. But the federal government in which I serve isn't the answer. Not alone, it's not. It's on all of us to step up. That means all levels of government. It means private and public sectors. It means higher institutions, schools, beyond. And more importantly, we need to listen to those being impacted. Parce que les gens savent ce qui se passe dans leur communauté. Young people know what's working, what's missing, what needs to change now. That's why we're inviting youth across the country to share their experiences and shape the next state of the youth report. This report, built from the voices of young people themselves, will help us understand the real challenges youth face and what we need to do better. And we need to do better. If you're between the ages of 16 and 29, I encourage you to have your say. It's important. The engagement period is now open. It's open until March 16th of this year. This is your chance to make sure that your voice is heard, because the decisions we make today will shape the future you inherit. La vérité, c'est que nous sommes tous ici aujourd'hui parce que nous savons ce qui se passe lorsque nous n'agissons pas. We've seen what happens when we don't invest in prevention, when we wait until it's too late. But we also know when we do invest, when we create pathways to jobs, pathways to education, when we create safe spaces, we don't just address homelessness, we stop it. We stop it before it starts. And that is the work ahead of us. That is the mission. And it's not easy. It's not quick work, but it's necessary. It's life-saving work, because behind every stat is a person, a young person who deserves better. Their experiences must guide our policies and, above all, push us to do so much more. So for them, for the future, let's do better, because I know that we can. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.